Good morning, Central Texas. Welcome to Community Connections at My Kiss 1031. I'm Phyllis Jones. I'm your host this morning. And you know, before my guest, I got some cool guests. You know what? Out of my 3 guests, it's only one that's never been on here before. So, oh my gosh, I feel so sorry for her. Because see, the other 2, they kind of know me. So they know when no surprises come, they just hold their head down and say, no, she didn't. But this other person, she just don't know.
That's my role, dog.
I might roll out of here. I don't know. But anyway, you know, before I talk to my guests, actually, like I said, we have a good time. The last time they were on here, we had a good time. They've never been on here together. They've been on here separate, but it was all good because we had some heartfelt talks on that time they were on. But anyway, as you know, in radio, the one thing we do watch and we trend is social media. Because social media, one, it lets you know what people are thinking. And it also lets you know what's actually going on. So there's 2 things I want to talk about. I'm not going to take a lot of time, but I don't like what I'm reading in the direction it's going. Because it's going wrong. And we're teaching our younger people wrong. Okay, one topic is, by some unknown reason, people started talking about police being taught to shoot to kill. I don't understand why we grieving about it, because if you do something, it's a new word, it's called research. And research is something we don't do very well. And I know we don't do it very well because I read. And I'm like, what I've been reading on social media doesn't make any sense to me, because when people say it, that lets me know they aren't researching. So, people are complaining about cops being taught to shoot to kill. Well, if you paid attention and you do research, you'll find out. When Ronald Reagan was the president of the United States, he passed it. So, I don't know why we talk to the city about it when that's not your job to do anything. If you want police you want to reverse that, you got to go to your United States Congress and your United States Senate, write the bill, because for one, if you want to change something, you can't write a bill, go sit down in the corner and be quiet. So one, you write the bill, submit it to your United States Congress or your United States Senate, get them to buy in on what you want, and then you get it passed. Other than that, don't talk to your city. You wasting your time, you wasting their time, and you let them know you're not serious about the problem. Because if you talk to the wrong people, you are not serious. And if you're talking to the wrong people, they will never respect you again, because you are an idiot who's saying something that you don't know. So that caused me heartburn, because it was a young person who reiterated that on Facebook. And I was like, no, no. I cannot have a young person saying that without knowing the history of what they're saying. So I'm going to go back. Before we open our mouth, please research. Do that. Because we lose because of that one word. We lose that one word. We lose credibility. If you belong to a group or an organization, your group won't have it anymore, because they chose not to research. Okay. So remember, please shoot to kill. Of course they were trained that you let your president at that time do it. You didn't say nothing about it. He passed it. It's done. All right. Second one is defund the police department. Well, you got 1 day to get that done. If you live in Texas, and you should know you have 1 day to get it done. Everybody who said defund the police need to know they got 1 day to get this done. 1 day. One. Why do you have 1 day? Because your governor is signing an executive order on Monday morning that the police will not be defunded in the state of Texas. So, everybody who wants the police defunded, I need you right now today, not tomorrow, I need today to submit your bill before his gets signed. I challenge you to do that. So if you're smart and you're an astute person and you're politically minded and you know what you're doing, your bill should be written, because you shouldn't have opened your mouth if you didn't write the bill. Number one. Number one. We do that and we need to quit. We need to do that new thing called research, because we're talking and we're blowing smoke and we ain't doing nothing about it. But anyway, you have 1 day to do it, because like I said, Monday morning, he's signing an executive order, and there will be no such thing as defunding the police. So like I said, everybody's bill should be written, because I really know we don't talk without writing the bill. We couldn't do that. We're not those type of people. So your bill should be done. You should already have contacted your state legislators and your state senators to get them to buy in on it with you. so that Monday morning you can beat your governor. So if you can't do any of those things, don't bring it up no more. Just don't. Don't. Because we're wasting time, and you're causing people who listen to you to not respect you. And me personally, I will never respect you when you come talking about something that I know you can't do. Me, I lose respect for you. Because my brain is going, you're actually talking to me about this, and you didn't do what you're supposed to do. So one of us is crazy. It isn't me because I know the laws. Why? Because I read them. So please, people, and young people, when someone tells you something, don't jump on the bandwagon because they said it. Do something called research. You have a phone. If you don't have access to internet, you can park in certain places and use theirs. Some people are against it totally. Well, then I'm sorry. You need to start writing some bills and getting them up there. But we need to follow the trend to what it is. So please, people, research. Stop teaching our younger people the wrong way to do something, because that's how we have a gap we have right now. Because, there's a gap between my age and a young man who's sitting here. There's a gap between us. I have children older than he does. So I know there's a gap. When I got children older, there's a gap. But that gap came from not researching, from us not doing what we're supposed to do. And we're passing along to people more bad information because they're going to grow up doing what you said. And I'm going to sit there and go, who, what? You're leaving me with the what? So then I feel that I need to step in toes. And I don't mind hurting your feelings. I really don't. If I'm telling you the truth and I hurt your feelings, I don't care. Because, one, I'm telling you what you need to know. I'm not telling you something that, I don't know. I'm telling you, hey, listen, I read it. You need to read it. And we need to move on. So those are my two topics that I read on social media, kind of all week from across the state of Texas at that. And like I said, if you want to defund the police, submit your bill tonight correctly. Contact all your legislators that you know. I know everybody here know at least 5. If you don't talk to me anymore. If you don't know 5, you ain't about the business. You're really not. And if you don't know 5 and you really truly need help, let me know. I will introduce you to how to find them. But like I said, when we go and complain and when we fight for rights, fight with the right people. Don't complain to the city about a state problem. Mm-hmm. Do you lose respect? If you're an organization or a group and you want your group to stay credible, make sure all your members do something. It's new. It's called research. If none of your members can do research, they need to go. Mm-hmm. Because you have to remain credible and you have to remain truthful. And we always need to remember that everybody's watching you. Everybody's looking at all of us. Me too. There's places I can't go because of what I do. And I hate that. So I got to go to like Austin or something. But we need to remember all those things come into play. But mainly what I'm saying to people is as we're out here fighting for rights, and we always will be, have your research behind you to back you up. So when you go talk to A, that's who you need to be talking to. Mm-hmm. Don't talk to A about something that belongs to Q. Mm-hmm. Because they're going to look at you and go, this fool don't even know what you're talking about. So you know what? You're going to get a negative response from me and anybody else. And you're going to wonder why you're bumping heads all the time, because you want to. So that's my soapbox. My word is still going to be the word of research. I'm going to ram it down everybody's throat because I'm tired. And I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of listening to it. And you can't say it's of today because I was in the marches before most of the people are born. Mm-hmm. A lot of people were born. So I know we did research. If I could research a bill at 10 and work to get it corrected, you can't tell me nothing now. Mm-hmm. You can't, because you have nothing to say. I'm going to say I was 10. I'm going to ask, how old are you? Well, you're older than me, and you're supposed to be smarter than me, so you can't tell me nothing. If I could tell you at 10, I could write a bill, simply because my parents taught me. So let's fight smart. Let's arm ourselves with information that we have read, not what somebody told me, because, I told you can get you in jail.
Hell yeah.
I told you get you in trouble. I told you would cause Chris to be no longer part of the Nation of Islam. Chris said, no, she didn't bust me out. Yes, I did. It's all in love. But anyway, that's my soapbox discussion of this new word called research. And I'm being funny when I say this new word. But
I got you.
Some people, he think I'm talking to him.
No, because I
know what you're talking about, yeah.
That's something I want to talk about because it's an
wait,
honor.
let me introduce you.
Oh, okay.
Just, you know,
Okay.
I'm glad you're comfortable, but let me tell you about who you are.
Okay.
There's an organization, and, well, actually, they're a group right now, but they're going to be an organization. They probably just found that out, like, what? But they are going to be an organization with the rules and the bylaws and all that, because they are actually here to stay. They're not going to be here today and gone tomorrow, such as I blamed some groups one day on Facebook. I went slam off on a bunch of groups. Did I care? No. Anyway, but they're here to stay because they've taken the proper steps to let you know they're going to stay, because they are proper steps. So I didn't meet him through this event. I met him through another event. He didn't even know who I was. But anyway, I met him through another event. So hello, Brian. How you doing?
I'm fine. I'm blessed. It's an honor to be on here again and for this topic. And so with my organization,
yes,
Brothers Against Community Crime, what it is, it's a bunch of brothers, men, I'm not going to say men and women who came together and said they're tired of the things that's going on in our community. But how do you change it? You have to come up with a solution. So we are the solution. You know, we might not have it all put together, but we're taking the proper steps to make sure it have a solid foundation, because without a foundation, it'll crumble. So that's why it's an honor to be able to meet and come talk to the Phyllis Jones and the Roslyn Finleys and the other people that I align myself with to help guide me into the right direction. Because we all know what to do. We all want to say power, right? But power is as only good as the influence, because you can lead someone to do positive or you can lead someone to do negative. And I once was one that did negative. So I had to come up to a point in my life where I'm tired. So I had to research, I had to study and see what it's going to take to make a change in my community. So far as these police shooting these individuals, right, we have to learn what's the reason. They always get off because of policy. Until you change and attack the policy, you're always going to be subjected to the same things. You know, we have to quit expecting justice in an unjust country. You know, it was never meant for all of us to be equal. But now we can research and put ourselves in position to be able to change these policies, to be able to have a positive impact on our society, our community, our nation. But we fail as men and women to take the proper steps to get where we need to go. Why? Because we worry about what somebody says. We worried about the naysayers, you can't do this or you can't do that. Well, guess what? I remember when I got out 3 years ago, they said I'll be back in 3 months. Here it is, 3 years strong, and I'm still doing what I said. Why? Because I got focused. I got supporters in my system, in my circle, that's not going to allow me to fall by the wayside. See, you have to be able to be teachable in order to learn what you need to learn to help somebody else. Because if you can reach one, you can teach one. So today we have a Black Community Day of Action on 1008 North 10th Street.
Is that a building or is it a space?
It's a space.
Because I looked it up. I'm like, hold up, this is a space. Okay, fine. And I was good, but I was like, I just realized that, yeah.
And it's a space to bring out the community. Everyone that says they're tired of something, well, now your voice can be heard and we can put you in the proper position to what you want to do. See, everybody want to be about the change, but no one to take the steps to take. You know, it was easy to say I'm going to do a march last year, but nobody knew the steps it took to get that march. You know, no one knew that I had to fight city council. I had to make them see it, not just my way, our way. And that's to bring unity in the community. How do you do that? You have to bring out the community and see what their needs are, see what their wants are.
But you know what? I'm going to sound weird, but I'm going to explain it. It was good that you had to go through that.
Yes, ma'am.
Because by you going through that, you now know how to tell somebody else.
Yes, ma'am.
See, if you didn't go through anything, you would say, oh, just fill it, send it out, and they'll say yes. No, that's what you would have told somebody had you not went through anything.
Yes, ma'am.
You would have said that, and they would have came back to you. No, it wasn't easy. You'd be like, what happened? You know, you would have been, what happened? So by you going, see, somebody has to go through it.
Yes, ma'am.
No matter what goes on in life, somebody has to go through it in order to find out the right way.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the only way to learn. So now that you went through it for that march, first, I'm glad you did go through it.
Yes,
I'm actually glad.
Yes,
some people thought I was crazy, but I'm like, no. Because this man will now learn the easy way, and he will learn the hard way. So when you teach somebody younger than you, you can say, hey, listen, she tried it, and it went fine. Mm-hmm. I did it, and man, I had to do this, I had to do that. You had to go home and talk to Brian, because Brian, wherever you said at in your house, Brian had to go home and talk to Brian.
For real though.
And Brian had to realize what Brian was going to come back. Was it going to be the angry black man that they expect to see?
Yes, ma'am.
Or was he going to come back the adult that he actually is?
Yes, ma'am.
And fight mind to mind.
You know,
so
and it's crazy you said that, because if I had to bet on myself in anything in the world, you know what it'd be? It'd be a game of chess with whoever. You know why? Because I believe that with my mind, I don't think anyone can outsmart me. You know, and that's not being arrogant. It's having trust and confidence in myself. So at many times at that march, I did want to act out in anger, like you can't tell me what I want to do. But I had to learn. When I learned chess, I learned how to think. You know, and I believe that with back mentoring, that we can give these children the resources to be productive, to be able to achieve the great things, because we're all made in the image of greatness if you believe in God, you know. But what do that take? You know, yes, I went through it, but see, when I had to endure something else, I had to go back to the people that did it before me. You know, the Marcus Garveys, the Martin Luther Kings, the Malcolm X's, you know, the Bamba Tunde. See, I had to go back to them and get their Wish Y'all Foundation so that it can help me get to the next level. Because when we get to a point where we can't learn nothing, that's when you get to a point of death. And not a physical death, but a stunt. You can't go no further. You know why? Because you always need growth. You always need the nutrients. You always need things in you to help guide you the right way. But if you get stuck on self and that I'm doing this, you'll fail. I'm nothing without my support team. I don't have to do, when I first started last year, I had to do a little bit more. Right. You know, so now when it's God putting these people in my life, it'll take a burden off my shoulders. You know, that's like Miss Roslyn Finley. That's my road dog. You know what I'm saying? So we help each other, you know, I know that, okay, Roz, this is what we trying to do. I know I can count on her to help me get to there, you know. I know her love for the community, not just the community, these kids. Because if we'll never teach them nothing, we don't teach them education. You know what I'm saying? So it's an honor to be by somebody's side that's going to win city council, that's a friend, that's a partner, that's a mother figure to me. You know, we overlook that because we had a mind frame of, you not my mom or you not my dad, you can't tell me what to do. Well, if they would have told you what to do, you wouldn't be in the position you in now. So you got to learn and listen from someone. You do. And that she can.
I need to talk to Chris.
Okay.
Cause you know, I need to talk to Chris, because Chris went through 2 changes. He's like, what the world you talking about? Chris did a total life change by joining the nation, by becoming part of the nation. And that's a huge change in your life. That's like a life change. That's a whole degree life change, becoming part of the nation. Because that took you a bunch of, take this off my plate, I can't do this. Take this off. You had to take a lot of things off your plate that were on your plate and that you were, was yours, solid. So you had to take that off your plate, which took a lot. Because I think, I'll say this, I know much about the nation as you do. Actually, I do. My plus is that it was formed in Detroit, and I'm from Detroit. And in Detroit, we think of the nation as different than we do here. We have more respect for the nation here, in Detroit, than we do here. I did say that. So, Robert, if you heard me, I said it. Anyway, but we do. But my thing is that now you belong to Brothers Against Community Crime.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is not another change, because basically it's an extension.
It's an extension, yes, ma'am.
So give me why'd you come in?
Because as I was talking to Brother Tavares, and we speak on leadership and the role of importance. And in importance, there's the word port. So I have to position myself around everybody else so I can grow and I can manifest my gift, because I'm still trying to figure out my gift. And I'm coming into fruition my gift. Because when God gives you a vision, he doesn't give you a vision for maybe right then and there, but he gives you a vision for the future. So trying to understand that and cultivate my gift so I can be more effective in my environment and have more effect in the people around me. That's what the difference is. I'm not here for the clout. I'm not here for anything else. I'm here to transform the minds of the people and import my thoughts and what we're going to do moving forward back into the future of the minds of the black community and communities in general, so we don't keep experiencing the same thing, because the idea of insanity is to keep repeating the same thing over and over and getting a different result. So how can we change the dynamic and cultivate our mentality into the minds of the people so they can start to transform not only themselves but the environment?
Wow. You sound different now than you did when you first came on my show.
Yes, ma'am.
You messing with King?
No, but I'm watching him, but also I'm watching you grow.
Yes, ma'am.
Because when you came on my show before, you weren't unintelligent. I'm not saying that.
Yes, ma'am.
But you were newly into the nation when you came on my show.
Yes, ma'am.
And we talked to you and one other person about who you were.
Yes, ma'am.
And because who you were is still who you are now. Because your past helps you rebuild your future. And I'm a firm believer of my ancestors. Your ancestors laid you a path. And they tell it to you. They tell you your path. It's just that sometimes we don't put ourselves in that place where we can receive the information. Right. We're too busy going everywhere else. But when you sit down and you're still and your mind is open, that's when they're telling you your path. Mm-hmm. It's just that when you become awakened again, it's whether you follow it or not. Yep. Yes, because you're in your path. If you weren't, you wouldn't feel comfortable. Because if you know, when you go somewhere and you're talking to somebody or you hearing something, if you don't feel comfortable, that's your ancestors shaking you up a little bit, saying, smack, smack, hey, you don't feel comfortable, do you? And you're going to go, no. Well, then they've already told you to leave. Yep. I mean, that was already your thing to leave. It's just the fact that some of us, we
don't listen.
The thing, and
we don't. Yeah.
And Brother Bacon contest to this. There was one day when I was speaking, and we were talking about electricity, and I was saying, and Tavares told me to put it into a perspective where I could understand it and relate it to God. So I'm saying sometimes we have an alternating current with God, and we have a direct current. So everything that I do, if I wear from the path, I'll have an alternate current with God. Versus if I stay on the right path, I will have a direct current with Him. So I'm trying to have that direct current with God.
So do you have your quiet space for your open mind?
Yes, ma'am.
Because if you don't, I'm gonna tell everybody, if you don't have a quiet space where your mind can be open, you are going to walk backwards every day. You are going to be the angry black male and the angry black female every day.
And what I want to say this as well, that we have to take responsibility as men, because men are the maintainers of women, if I'm correct. We must.
I came from a nation where we had gods and goddesses.
Yeah. Right. Hold on, see now.
I got what you're saying. I'm just saying.
But in the community, men have been sitting in the side, and the black woman has been leading.
Because we knew that we knew that we as the people could not fail.
Right.
And we knew since we were forced to come to this disastrous place we live called United States.
Yes, ma'am.
We've learned to put ourselves in the road. No, we put ourselves in the road to save you.
I was going to say, hold on.
No, we did. Women put themselves on the line when we first got here to make sure you could stay man.
Right.
To make sure that you could maintain who you were at home.
Right.
We did what we needed to do to make sure that you maintained and survived on this land.
Yes, so a true man, just to me though, this is just King's perspective of things. A man wants a woman that not also supports but also can lead. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think about life, the woman, just me, my thinking, that's why I follow the way. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom was my God. My mom carried me for 9 months, then brought me to the world, right? But in the midst of me bringing me to the world, I died upon coming in. You know what I'm saying? That's why when they hit you on the butt, they see if you're still living.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But so when you understand who your mother is, you'll understand your way of life. Because no matter what age I left my mom's house, I'm only the man I am today because the principles my mom instilled in me. So the woman it's just proof. The woman is the stability in the household. You know what I'm saying? When a man comes that knows his role as a man, is just give her an assurance that say, you know what, I'm going to back him no matter what, because I'm going to back my woman. You know what I'm saying? If I have a woman, she don't have to worry about stressing over there because I'm going to support her vision for her purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because it has to have a balance. But so many times in the household and in the community, we don't have that balance. Majority of the time, two people coming into a relationship. A woman that has father issues and a man that has mother issues. So, therefore, when you find a man or a woman that loves their father or their mother, them ones that probably have a foundation, some form of stability, but we overlook it because we want the finer women. We want the women with the big butts, the whatever. Right. And some of us just want a woman that let her lay on her couch. See, it's the perspective is what you see yourself as a man or woman. See, I'm king for a reason because I control things in my kingdom. I don't settle. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it is, I'm not going to settle for less than I deserve. Why? Because I walk in royalty.
So to talk to you two again, and Roz needs not think she's gonna sit there and do
I
it.
thought you was going to say something.
Don't worry about it. I got this.
I sure, so I was gonna say, okay.
I got this.
Just letting you know.
I need to have a men conversation right now.
Okay.
Okay, a lot of our young men are doing what they think is right because there's no man to teach them what's right. And the first thing is women can't teach.
A man how to be a man.
Thank you. We can't. We can teach them how to be proper. We can teach them the manners that they need to have. Not you kick them in the butt. But anyway, we can teach the manners. We can teach that. That we can teach. But beyond that, it takes other men to do it. The problem is we have a whole bunch of men in our community that love one thing. It's called lip service. They love to talk. They love to talk. But when you see them, I never see them with a group of little boys talking to them. I don't. I rarely see. Hold up. I rarely see men pulling aside some boys to say something like, let's go play b-ball in the court. Right. I rarely see that. Our young men right now are they're in a burning building, as Martin Luther King said. They're in a burning building. But I need to know when are the men of boys of brothers against community violence. I need to see them putting out that fire of that building of these little boys because they're going to grow up and commit crime.
Okay.
You know why they're going to commit it? One, they don't see you not committing it. Not to say you all are, but they don't see you where they need to see you. You might be where you think you need to be, but it's not where they need you to be.
Right. Okay.
So you see what I'm saying? Because you might say, "Yeah, I'm here," but they could be over there, doing this. Yeah, they over there, and you're a man. You both are. You remember the days? Yeah, they over there. They ain't over here with me. You remember that? But one of y'all never walked over to say, "Hey," because they didn't feel comfortable doing so. Okay. And my other thing is women, us. I will go over to a young man and say, "Would you pull your pants up? Because I don't want to see your drawers." I don't care about saying that. But men have a problem with that. Men have a problem telling the younger boy, "Put your pants up." Y'all got a problem with that. Because you're always saying, I don't know what he carrying. I don't know what he got. Well, wait a minute. Why don't we have that same fear? Okay. You know what I'm going to say? I don't care what he got. I'm going to whoop his butt. I don't care. So we need men to do those simple things. Just the simple things. And use it as a teachable moment.
Okay. Now let me take over this for a minute. Now, this is your moment with the king. So a lot of things I do that I don't air on Facebook.
Right, correct. You shouldn't.
I have a lot of young men that I go pick up on and I spend time with, take to get haircuts, make sure they have money in their pocket, even get to write essays. You know why? Because I seen a young black man, 11 years old, with an ankle monitor on. And it hurt me to the point that I had to call the other brothers in my organization like, man, look out. We got to do something different. Right. Because there's no way you're setting this young man up for failure at 11 years old. You know what I'm saying? So what is the solution? See, everybody had a problem. Right. Yes, you know why men don't have that? Because look at the generation before us. But, you know.
They left you.
And so now what it takes us, men like us, that say, no matter what, I'm going to be in the community. I love walking in the hoods with this on. You know why? Yeah. You know why? Because they going to respect what's coming with that. You know what I'm saying? And that's not on no physical thing. A person about change. Right. You know, I can be the woe is me and be the pitiful like everybody else. But I choose to make a difference. I choose to take time out my day when I have other things I can do and take time out if I could just tell one young man. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I done been down that road. Why? Because I experienced it. You know, I can't tell nobody how to smoke crack because I never smoked, how to get off of crack because I never smoked it. Right. But the things that I knew, the gang violence, the selling, I experienced that. You know what I'm saying? To the fullest, not most is some, but more than a lot. Right. You know what I'm saying? Really shot it in my chest, died twice in these same streets. So I did 12 years in prison till I came to my aha moment. To say, Brian, and it was sitting alone, and I know it was answered to they say, Brian, if you can lead all these people to do wrong, imagine if you can lead them to do right. Sure. And that instant, I knew what my life was. My mom was in the hospital fighting death. 15% of her heart, 2015, I'm on a Torres unit. I cried out. I say, man, if you can let me hold my mom one more time, you got me. But it didn't take just lip service.
Right.
See, on a unit, when you say, man, I'm gonna pull away from something, you have to go. It's consequences with that.
Of course.
But I was willing to walk them consequences on what I stand on. I stand on not killing another one of my brothers, not putting my hand, helping a brother or a sister get where they can go in life by somebody believing them. Because with one word of motivation, you can inspire greatness. All it takes is somebody to ignite the fire. Well, the fire is lit and it's not going nowhere.
But there's a program that I want you all, no, I'm not doing it, that I want you all to do, consider doing. So at your next meeting, y'all can put it on your agenda, is this. Our young boys need to be connected to their history. And there's a lot of different ways to teach it. So all young boys go to the barbershop.
Yes, ma'am.
So I would like to know if you all could go to as many barbershops as you can, and ask the barbershop, would they give the kids a discount for coming in and bringing either a Black History fact or talking about a book that they read to that barber, and they get maybe a 10% discount.
I like that.
That way you would, one, do two things. One, you're bringing business to that barber because he's going to advertise that. Hey, you know, bring a young boy in here. And, you know, and how many fathers going to bring their sons to that barber shop?
Me? I like that. I'm going to implement it. I'm going to borrow that. I ain't going to say still.
No, I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it away.
Thank you. I'm on it.
Because
I'm going to receive it.
You're instilling a couple of things. Dad got to be proud of his son, boy. What you learn? What you learn to go over there?
Remind me of Gizmo. Just put Gizmo. Remind me.
Because you're instilling, like I said, you're helping that business promote the barbershop because he gonna promote what he doing, and you making a man take his son. What you learn, son? What we got? What fact do you have? But see, that can help. You're helping out the community.
Yes, ma'am.
And you teach. There you go. And the kid is learning something at the same time. He's getting a discount from this, but he's learning something. That's a community thing. So I would like for you all to put it on your agenda.
It is. It's marked. Yeah. It's done.
I already got it. We got.
Chris got something to say. Go on, say, Chris.
I'm sorry.
Go on, Chris. Go ahead. Come on.
We have an objective. We have an objective board. So whenever we do, we try to knock out those objectives, and I'm going to make that a first priority objective on that board is to make sure that we have these young Black men going to these barbershops because that's a way to connect and that's a way to vibe with your fellow brother and just grow and you could be amazed at how much experiences that you learn just by sitting around a barbershop and just learning, and also you're getting a haircut so you're feeling good while also learning stuff to make you feel good. So I feel that's very important.
And like I said, you're helping out the community as a whole.
Look at you. You don't lie. You don't lie. Gizmo, I'm coming to you, brother. Get ready for the program. I'm calling you when I get out of here. So it's already locked in.
And I have this one. And remember I talked about importance. So I looked up the word portent. A sign or warning that something, especially something momentous or calamitous, is likely to happen. In important, there's important because if an important person is ordained by God to give a message, he can give birth to something or someone momentous to give change in the environment.
I like you. You're a researcher.
He does. My right hand man. You see, I got to keep around. I seen that. I say, oh yeah, I got to go get.
He's researching, which is, and you're right. You're right.
So,
come on.
It's another.
This is my show. I'm in charge.
Yeah. So when we were having a dialogue about leadership and military, right?
Ooh.
So when the first thing that came to my mind is a gun. Now, hear me out.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
A gun can be used in a spiritual sense and in a physical sense. How can back or anybody else be a spiritual gun to kill the inordinate and lower desires of the fellow man to kill and oppress one another? How can we be that bullet to effect change? What is our max effective range in the environment? We have to figure that out so we can be able to hit our target. Because if we don't have the inadequate weapon to hit our target objective, then we will fail as an organization.
But we have to, since we live in a visual society, and we live in a you're a judge. When you see somebody, you look them up and down. That determines what hello you're gonna give them. That determines whether you're gonna say hi, hey, or hey, how you doing? Because just the way they look, it's a hey or hey, how you doing? So as they group in an organization, the first thing you got to remember is to look presentable. And you lose the right. I'll say I had to learn that the hard way. you lose the right to dress the way you want to dress. You lose that right. And if you say, no, I didn't, you're lying. And you don't want to be who you are.
Yeah, for real.
But you lose that right to do. I can't run to, I hate this story. Yeah, I can't run to Walmart at 7 in the morning with a T-shirt and some throw-on pants. No. I can't, because you know what? Somebody going to be in there. Hey, Miss Phillips, I want you to meet. I want you to meet. Crazy, and you do this and you go, oh, God.
Man, that's crazy, because it's like my life has changed.
It does.
Like, I remember I went to, this no lie, y'all. This no lie. This is why I love Roslyn so much. So I'm going to Family Dollar to run in there and get something. We at the house doing it. So I run in. Oh, she wanted a Pepsi. So I just threw on some clothes and ran in there. So it was this Caucasian that kept following me. So in my head, y'all know what I'm like, man.
Right.
So when I'm walking out the store, he says, were you on one on speaking on TV? I'm like, yes, sir. He said, what's the little short lady that named that be with you? I'm like, I said, you talking about Roz? He said, yes, that's her. He said, she's helped my daughter and her kids stay not get evicted. And it made me feel good because we're represented it.
Right.
Like when they see me, they'll know, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But in a good light, you know what I'm saying? Because I done been there where we were hearing her fight for, when did she go through it herself?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To hear her fight for the community.
Yeah.
So in my head, I say, why not align myself up with somebody that want to bring about change? Not to come with the problem and fight on the problem all the time, but come with a solution.
Right.
Yeah, and to hear her call these women and tell them, man, you got to do this, and that to in order to get here, man, that's an honor to be in her presence because I know how much she cares. And her daughter would not let me, she won't let me make it. I'm in the house. I guess I'm depressed yesterday, so.
No.
No, I know.
I disagree with that word.
I don't know what it was. Listen, so I'm just in there chilling, really just relaxing my mind. So she was like, what you doing? You need to get up. You depressed or something? So I'm like, what? And I jump up because the spark of life, you know what I'm saying, that it generates. She's the president of BEC, and she's an excellent young lady. I'm talking about she going to be the first one to ever get a BEC scholarship because her determination, the way she's in different positions to receive the favor of God. Not the blessings, but the favor of God, you know. So that goes to her foundation, and you have to look at her mother. You know what I'm saying? So we always want to put these stigmas on people, all angry black. If that's an angry black woman, I need her on my side.
Well, it's not the angry black woman. We need to know, when I say the angry black woman, I'm not a Caucasian. That's the first thing you got to remember. If I say angry black woman, there's a reason I'm saying it. Well, hold on. So the reason I'm saying it and the reason someone else who does not look like me is saying it is different. And we forget that sometimes.
What's the difference?
The difference is if I'm calling one of my sisters angry, what I'm letting her know is that, hold up. Calm down, and let's walk in peace. Let's walk in peace in this, because the outcome is going to be good, but we got to walk in peace. I'm not saying walk on eggshells and oh my God, but what I'm telling you is to lower your voice and aim it directly to where it needs to go. Don't use your voice like a bullhorn and yelling at everybody who said. So I'm telling my sister, lower your voice and aim it straight to where it needs to go.
Okay.
Now, that other woman, if I look like her, I'm telling her, don't even say it. She's an angry black woman. Look what she's saying. That's two different things.
Okay, now let me show you my perspective of angry black woman, right?
Me, every day.
No, my mom was an angry, you know what this was my interpretation. My mom was an angry black woman, right? And when I say angry black woman, I remember one time this lady, Caucasian woman, called me stupid. And I went home and told my mom, and the passion my mom had for standing up for her child, that was the anger. You know what I'm saying? That's what when black women have the passion that Roslyn have, the determination and the drive. See, so many people miss that. You have to, when you get angry, that's only showing that you have emotions behind it, that you have feelings. I really stand on this. So we got to understand what these words mean and quit going with the norm. Oh, they say angry, that means something bad. No, it don't mean nothing bad. You got to take the positive out of that. So for the person with compassion and aggression towards things they love, those are those things to align yourself with. Because it's easy to say things. Look how many organizations came before me or before us and failed at the wayside. Why? Because you say the right things, but what do your character show? So it's an action word with, you know what I'm saying? So we have to understand that and be able to cipher the two. You know what I'm saying?
But see, our biggest problem is, and then I'm going to Roz, is I'm going to say something in the defense people, and I said, we came to this place called the United States. We became trapped But the thing we bought is we've bought everything that somebody who didn't look like us, we bought it into us.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
We bought it into us.
Facts.
So we actually are become uneducated because not only we bring it into us, we actually bring it out.
And accepted it.
And we've accepted. Now, I would say some people have accepted
I accepted it.
You know, we've accepted that. And by us accepting it, we can greet each other a certain way.
Yes,
Women
ma'am.
can.
Yes, ma'am.
And she's thinking the other way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking our way. And me and her going to have an argument.
Yeah.
To one of us will say, stay over there with those folks.
But it's all under
I'm going to
misunderstanding.
leave. And that's what I'm saying. But it's because she's accepted the ideology.
Yep.
And I haven't because I ain't.
And
And then it becomes, well, I'm going to leave you over there.
Yep.
Because we ain't going to work today.
Okay.
I'm going to say that.
Can I say
So,
one more thing before you leave?
I know. I got to talk to
All right,
Roz.
give me one thing. Key.
One.
The
What
best
should be
thing
two?
somebody can do.
What should be two?
Unlearn what they learned.
Well, see, that means you would have to stop going to some of the places you go.
You got to.
And some of the words you use, you need
have
to
to.
quit.
You have to.
Okay, so Roz.
You have to.
She's,
Roz.
she first said the first word I can't stand.
I know it.
I'm not a slave.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I disrespect that word. I'm sorry. I wasn't raised to.
So Brian can yes ma'am you, Chris can yes ma'am you, but Roslyn cannot.
See, I'm gonna get on them
It's
later
all right.
on.
Come on.
Because they better not do it again. Because we're not slaves. That word came from slavery. Slaves had to say it to their oppressor. I'm not your oppressor. So you don't have to say it. See, I was raised that way. That's how I was raised. If I would have said, ma'am, my mother and my father would have removed my lips. Not smacked me. They would have removed my lips. Because that's what slaves said to their oppressor. Southerners say that, and I don't know why. But no, I was raised on the word, the actual foundation of the word. I ain't use it. So yeah, I'm not a ma'am. I'm Phyllis.
Yes, Miss Phyllis.
Or I'm Miss Jones. However I get. If you're my child, then you're my kid. And you became my child when I met you a while ago. Okay, Rosalind. Yeah, I'm gonna hit her in the head. Anyway, okay. What made you become a part of BAC? I mean, where did it start? Okay, because they got the word is brothers, which is cool and it should be. So where did you say, you know what, I'm coming in? What made you say I'm coming in? Because you've been here long enough to know that we've had other groups. I named them on Facebook, so I'm not going to name them here. But anyway, we've had other groups who've attempted to do the same thing. But I'm not going to say they messed up. But if you're not the one, then you're going to mess it up. Mm-hmm. You got to be the one. You can start a group, but you're not the one to carry it. So it goes in the garbage. So what made you decide to be the female and say, you know what, I'm coming in?
Well, actually, I mean, this is what we do all day, every day.
That's not what I asked you.
So what happens is you have a great group of men. I believe that a man is only as strong as the woman behind him, beside them, walking with them. And so I pray with them. I love these men.
What made you decide to come in?
What we're doing, what we're starting to do is the foundation is laid because you do it every day. We do go and talk to the students. We get different youth involved in AAU programs. We encourage them to get back in school. We make sure that we reach out to resources to ensure that if you're hungry, you can get fed. You all are going through homelessness. Let's see what programs, who can we send you to? Mm-hmm. Everything is not to be televised. It's not.
No, it's not.
And I understand, campaigning and all that and how things have been depicted. But God has done so much in this community. He is unifying many organizations and groups, politicians, leaders, pastors, so that we can all turn around and reach back. If everybody grabs somebody, we can get them all. We can't do it all by ourselves, but someone has to start somewhere.
No,
so my thing was to make sure that they were being encouraged, they were being exhorted, They were getting the leadership and direction that they needed as we sought the face of God in the direction that we should be going, so that we could save some of the children, if not all of them. Violence is everywhere.
Yes.
And there's many things that attribute to crime and violence. The lack of lighting in different areas. People don't do crime in dark places. However, if they know if you walk down this street, it's a group of guys that's going to tell you, hey, you can't do that. What you looking in them cars for? We do have to look out for one another. This is not that we're against anyone. Right. We need everybody to work together. That's first responders, and I do mean pastors, leaders. This organization, this community project that's coming up, even today, we are trying to gather everyone. No one is excluded. All ideas and ideologies are welcomed because we want to solve the problem. We all know what the problems are. Let's get together with like minds and those that aren't, so that we can solve the issues. I'm tired of people being homeless. I'm tired of funds being allocated, but the ones who need it most not being able to get it. I'm tired of them not having the resources. You give them names and numbers and tell them to Google something that still doesn't lead them to resolve.
No, that goes back to my other point.
Oh, yeah, I was going.
It's going back to my other point.
Originally?
No. It's going back to my point of that word called research.
Yeah.
No. And it's going back to, see, if I have an issue, if me has an issue, I don't want to talk to the little people of the city. To me, I'm that's beneath me. For me, that's beneath my brain. If I need to talk to HUD, I'm going to call HUD in Washington, D.C. and say, hey, I'm gonna give them what they want. What I mean is this. When you call somebody, they always want to hear something other than, hi, I'm so-and-so. Okay, fine. But when I call, I'm going to call the head of HUD and say, you know what, this is where I live. This is exactly what's going on. I'm not going to say we have some homeless. I'm going to give you a number because you need numbers. Numbers gauge money. I'm going to say, I do an event, and I do. I do an event, and, I see between, every time I do this event, I see between 500 and 600 homeless people walk through. I give them this information. This is what I prepare for them. And I need to know, what can you do to help me service? I'm going to ask them, what can you do? I don't care about nothing else because all the money everybody gets comes from them. Mm-hmm. So why should I talk to these little minions right here when I could talk to this person up here and get what I need funneled down? That's one. Second, there are grants out for everywhere. There are grants out for everything you think you might want to do. But if I say grant, we go, or who gonna write it? We got grant writers. I don't want to write it. And then you go get a grant writer, and if we get one, then most people go get a grant writer that charges you. Well, your grant writer is supposed to write their fee into the grant, and then you get it. Also, there's research grants. I have a research grant. My research grant covers exactly what I do for the community. Wow. Yes. I have a Brian like, what? Yes, I have a research grant that pays me to do what I do in the community. How did I get it? That word called research. So those are things we got to do. We got to stop. We got to stop going to the little people. When we need to talk to that person up there, we need to be friends with them. I just want to
deal with that whole research.
Yes,
portion.
I research to death.
Because, Miss Phyllis, I call you, do I not?
Yeah, you do, and I tell you what I need to tell you.
See?
And sometimes she don't listen.
So listen, let me explain something to you all.
She don't listen to me. I know.
History. You understand? People have fought, lived, died for you to be able to read a book, for you to be able to vote. Somewhere, the ball was dropped. Mm-hmm. Because the generations of today do not feel as adamantly strong about being educated or understanding, because we come to Miss Phyllis and those alike because we're expecting you to teach us.
Yes.
Because it don't come. Some people need you to literally take them by the hand and walk them through it. That's why I do what I do. Mm-hmm. I understand some of them can't read.
I know.
Or they can't read to comprehend.
I know. And see, I'm
So
waiting
when
on
they
Brian.
reach their handout, they're not asking for a handout.
Right.
They're asking for a hand up.
Right.
So assist them in the knowledge and the wisdom that you've acquired
Okay.
to obtain those grants, because you've already obtained that
I
knowledge
agree with you.
of how to write.
But my issue is this. Whenever BAC has a meeting, I find out after the meeting that there was a meeting. So BAC has been continuously having meetings, and I find out
Don't worry,
after,
I'm delegating the secretary.
And I find out after the meeting that they had a meeting.
I forgot.
Okay.
See, so that's how that's how I'm helping. I don't get to the meeting.
Like people, everybody knows, I got it. I need to add it to that sister's back group.
Yeah, I don't. You know.
So I thank you for this unity. I thank you all for
Yeah,
having
because
me.
I don't. Yeah,
appreciate
so
it.
I don't get to the meeting.
Well, you'll be at the next meeting.
See, so I don't get. So you know why I don't tell y'all nothing? Because I don't get to the meeting to teach. I can't teach if I'm not asked to come.
Okay, so we do have.
Ooh, Chris didn't say nothing.
We do have sisters are back though, and what the sisters are back. We have mentor women that's I find that can help our sisters to get the understanding they need to strengthen us. You know what I'm saying? Because if we can fight two different battles at the same time, you know what I'm saying, attacking from two different areas, then that'll help us broaden our, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So would you like to help, we could put you in this group, and it's just to assist, like if you have any insight that can show them or encourage them to do something, we need that, because we need the ones before us that experience this to show us the way, so that we can do what we need to do and then pass it on. You know what I'm saying? So I will add you to that.
And the one thing we need to all learn is we can't fix nothing tomorrow.
Nope, it's the process.
It's a process that a lot of us have went. Well, I'll say me. That a lot of us have went through these process to do stuff, and then if I tell you how to do that, you're gonna like, I'm not doing all that. I'm like, well then,
you don't want it done.
Why am I here asking you?
You don't want it done.
And our struggle for civil rights, it started in 1619.
Yep.
We need to know that. I'll say then, and I'll use me. I fought harder now than y'all fight. I'm watching y'all crack at my side, because I'm like, what the world are they doing? Yeah. I'm not understanding this. Because I go back to, if I did something at 10 and you in your 30s and you can't do it, something's wrong with you.
No, hold on. Now I'm going to detest that.
Especially, wait a minute. Something's wrong with you, especially if I've talked to you.
Oh, okay.
You know, something's wrong with you.
Okay,
if I've talked to you and told you what I did at 10, and you in your 20s and 30s, and you're going to say, all right, I'm not going to do this. Okay. Well, I'm like, well, first of all, if I did it at 10 and you don't want to do it at 30, you got a problem.
Yeah,
right.
Because I can't say the way you were raised, because I was raised in a total African history way. My dad's from Africa, my mother's not. But I was only raised that way. So the American things, I had to learn on my own, which was not easy. But I had to learn the American part on my own. I didn't learn that because my dad said that you never Americanize a child, and I was raised that way.
That's why we finna start this program.
I wasn't.
Started the education. You know, that's what we lose. I got.
But hold on. Now let me tell you about education. Since I'm the state education chair for Texas at NAACP, I get more calls from everywhere else except for Killeen. I've helped more kids go to college. I did a scholarship program for a whole bunch of cities. Haven't done one in Killeen. And I'm the state and everybody knows, because I tell everybody I'm the state education chair. But Killeen, nobody ever asked me to do it. So I've done one in Temple. I do scholarship programs to teach kids how to go to school free. But
I got you.
What's on your schedule? Can you give me your schedule?
I do a program. I don't do a one day thing. That's a waste of my time.
No, I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna do a program.
Yeah. You implement that program in our
I do a program for kids.
Yeah. So we will talk rather than market that.
Yeah, I teach kids. You heard me. I say I teach kids. I ain't teaching the parents.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nah, for real though.
I teach the kids because I'm a kid first person.
Me too.
Because if adults want to jack up their life, I really don't care.
Me,
but if the children, I care. But adults that jack up their life, I don't care.
Ooh.
Jack up your life.
But if they want to learn, help them, teach them.
But I'm gonna help kids first, because why I say I help kids first. My program that I do starts in the 9th grade. Okay. So I'm gonna tell a 9th grader what they need to do at grade 9, 10, 11, 12. So I can tag adults on later, but I can't tag them on to the 9th grade because
that's right.
they've blown that already.
So
Yeah.
we can start. Ooh, you gave me an idea.
That's gonna be awesome.
So I do that, but like I said, I've done it for.
Safe Haven project.
I've done more. I've done it for more cities than I've done here.
That's perfect. That'd be excellent for that Safe Haven
initiative
for that education part.
Also, if I may say something,
Oh, yeah.
we're also cultivating for mental health awareness due to the pastor losing his life, because I feel there's a lack of need for the environment. So what me and Brian and everybody in part of BAC is doing, we're creating a curriculum for that, so that when a police does have a call, they call us first and we can go interact before something takes place like what just happened.
So when you implement your program, who are you using to go under to implement it?
We're going to get like a psychiatrist that's willing to help us out with this initiative.
Right.
So they can just be on call if they have a more severe problem that we can't handle. And we're also going to assign somebody that the person can connect to.
So which one of you all will be certified to go out, not to go out there, but certified to do that connection? You know what I mean? Like to connect with counselors, to connect with this, because someone has to be that one, because it can't be all of BAC. It has to be a person that, that actually, that's what they do.
Well, the full intent would be to also include K-Cops once everything goes back to normal. They're on hold due to COVID-19.
Right, they're on hold, yeah.
Negotiations are still in.
Yeah.
But what the whole thing is just to ensure that they're not just running up, and the situation may not need to escalate. If you responding to a situation and you know me, but the officer doesn't,
right.
Well, Roz isn't irate. Miss Phyllis can come and say, Roz, what are you doing? Right? But he doesn't know him. So, and that's kind of what it is. Within our community, the mass majority of them are born and raised here. They know majority of those who have even come recently. So now the rapport that we have in the community, on top of we're trying to keep you from going to jail. We're going to de-escalate this situation. Now the police can always take over and do what they need to do.
So since I work special ed, may I ask you a question? What age are you going to start with? Because I have a 4-year-old that can throw a tripod desk. So what age, when he's upset, he's 4. He can pick up a desk and throw it when he's upset. And there's nothing you could do to stop that. So no, my thing is, see, when we do the mental health, that's a broad field. To say no, to ask you one question, and you have to answer that one. What age you going to start with? Because I'm just not telling you I have a 4-year-old who, bam, and you're like, you know what I mean? So that's a broad issue.
Well, that's
that
why
you can't say.
Sure clinicians are there, because you cannot, you're not going to be able to just handle this
that's what I'm saying.
With that alone. That's why that training is going to really be well needed.
But you also have to. What I'm saying is, when you say we're going to do this, you have to put a cap on what age group you're talking about, because you got to remember liability coverage comes in with certain age groups.
Oh, definitely.
So you can't say we're going to help people with mental illness. You can't just say that. You got to fix it and bring it back.
Well, these just calls in the community.
But fix it and bring it back.
One of the things is, that's going to be Chris's area. He's dealing with the mental illness portion. So.
Okay, so now you know what? It's that time. The whole hour flew by. It flows fast. It flows faster than people actually think. And you all will come back again as programs progress. You'll come back and we'll talk about the programs, how it's implemented, who's implementing it, where it's going to be. All those things will be you'll talk about as you step, because you're doing steps.
Yes, ma'am.
And then when we leave, I'm going to tell you the first step you got to take. But anyway, I want to thank you all for coming on the show.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
I want to have. We always need to have deep conversations.
Yes.
We always do, because we can't fix anything if we don't have.
a conversation.
Yeah, you got to take off the sheet, the blanket, the pillowcase, all that off, and then you got to get down and go, okay, this how we got to fix it, and it's something we've gotten away from, and we need to do it. Bringing everybody together. Well, we're not going to bring everybody together because we have different mindsets, and some of us only need to be together for a minute, and then leave. So I want to thank everyone for listening to Community Connections this morning. I hope you learned a lot, and I hope that you get in where you fit in. Everything is not for everybody to join. It isn't, but sometimes you might be able to drop off a little nugget and then fly on.
Yep.
Drop the nugget and then fly on. But I want you to always remember, you cannot lead a positive life with a negative mind. We'll talk to you next Sunday. Bye.
Bye.
Done. Okay, sit down, Brian.